So thank you, Natalia. It was really fascinating to have checked whether you are addicted to a smartphone, whether you are not addicted to a smartphone. So today's lesson objective, as I told you previously, is going to be only about your modal verbs of obligations as well as necessity. So therefore I suggest doing the following. Could you please open my attachments for today's lesson? Could you please scroll down a little bit? And can you see, by the way, my slide, something that I have prepared for you? And on the black and white slide there is a title, Past Obligation and Necessity. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see.
Superb. If you like, you can zoom it out to make it bigger in order to see all kinds of details, because right now we are going to turn our attention specifically to the English grammar. So, in the Russian language we have the following idea. Должна была, должен был. In the English language, however, we have only three, you see, options when we talk about obligations in the past. Your first idea is going to be the following. You can use had to. That's all. For example, I had to learn English language. It means that we were required to do that. So could you please give me your example then with had to? It's very simple in its nature.
I had to go to school.
Yes, definitely. I had to go to school. Once again, we talk only about obligations in the past. But if you are going to use the following grammar formula, should, have plus past participle, or ought to plus past participle, you are going to talk about unfulfilled actions in the past. You see? And I would say there is a little criticism hidden here. For example, if you say, Marina, you should have washed your face before lesson. You see? You are somehow criticizing me. Yes, definitely. You see? Once again, you talk about something that should have been done in the past, but it wasn't done. Once again, just try to memorize when you are going to use any modal verb plus past participle plus present perfect have plus past participle, my apologies, you talk about something in the past. You should have done that, or you ought to have done that. So do you understand this idea, or should I need more should I give more explanations to this topic?
Ну, had to — это то, что ты должен был просто обязан делать в будущем.
In the past. Stop. In the past. In the past, I had to.
В прошлом, вернее, да. Should have и
past participle, should have done.
Should have done и
ought to.
Ought to have.
Вы должны были это сделать. You criticize.
Должны были это сделать, но не сделали.
Yes, that's right. So, therefore, just try to criticize me somehow. Just try to use the following. But once again, you're going to use should plus past participle when you want to, I would say something that you should have done according to some kind of laws, according to some kind of regulations. You see? So it wasn't simply so simple to say that you should have done, but according to some laws, right? For example, you should have paid your taxes because the law requires it.
You should have picked up your children from school.
Excuse me, I couldn't catch your very last idea. You should have. Could you please repeat? You should have.
You should have picked up. You should have picked
your children. You should have picked your children up from school. From the school.
You should have picked your children up from the school.
Yes, superb. Could you please now just try to say you ought to have picked up your children from the school?
you ought to have picked up your children from the school.
Yes, definitely. Once again, you talk about obligation in the past, and this specific obligation in the past wasn't fulfilled. So it was unfulfilled. Fulfilled. My apologies. So if you flip through the following page, so can you see another flip through the following page? No. Let's return to our, let's come back to our slide. So once again, so can you see the following page? Didn't have to, didn't need to.
Yeah, I see. Didn't have to, didn't.
So when you talk about not necessarily obligation in the past, in that case, you are very welcome to use you didn't have to, you didn't need to. For example, I am coming to you and I'm saying to you, Natalia, you didn't have to do these exercises. You see, they were additional. Or Natalia, you didn't need to do these exercises. They were additional. In that case, you talk about no obligation in the past. That's all. You simply didn't have to and you didn't do that. So, give me your example then.
Marina, you didn't need to clean your lipstick because it's not bad.
Definitely. I see that I humiliated myself. So unfortunately, but you see, I even didn't see that, unfortunately, before the beginning of the lesson. Yes, we talk about something that was not supposed to take place in the past. And another idea, once again, let's revise it. If you know that the person actually has done something, in that case you are going to use your modal verb need plus have plus past participle. For example, you needn't have done that, but you did that. So therefore you needn't have done that. For example, you needn't have done something additional, right? But you did that, and therefore, so can you recollect from the beginning of our lesson? I asked you what is the difference between needn't have done as well as didn't have done. Yes. So that is the case. So could you please give me your examples then?
You didn't have to